Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the NAPRA Cooldown Lap. And today I'm joined by the usual King and Supreme. Um, and we have a lot to talk about in today's NAPRA Cooldown. Since we missed a while, I think we missed a whole episode, didn't we?
Yeah, we missed. Yeah.
Indeed, we did.
Okay.
And then,
To start, I don't have any input on this, but let's talk about the entire round of 8. Well, the wild card 8 playoff round. So, King
indeed.
or whoever wants to start.
I guess I'll take control since I was broadcasting the races. Well, how is everybody doing? Got a lot to talk about, as Ford said. So I guess we'll try and go in order from the least, or we'll go back in time, back to current time. So I'm pretty sure the first race we missed was Indianapolis. Indianapolis was a solid race in both divisions. Good attendance. New winner in D2 who went on to be banned the very next day in D1. And then Supreme got his first win of the season in Indianapolis in D1.
Wait, so
Next
who
week
got
after
banned?
that, I will not be saying his name.
Type it out.
Anyway, yeah, I'll type it out. Anyway, next week it was Kansas. That was a solid weekend as well, but two of the most dominant drivers in the league got wins. Volvo in the Break Series and Forza in the Cup Series. Weekend after that, Volvo once again winning at Texas. That's back-to-back for him. And then in the Cup Series, Flicker got his first one on the season. And then to close out the regular season, D2 had a troublesome race, but Radiant ended up getting his second victory of the year at the end of the regular season, going into the wild card. And then in the Cup Series, Zach got his first one of the year at Talladega in a race that was not broadcasted, but went off without a hitch. Starting off the playoffs in the Break Series was New Orleans. Very solid weekend of racing there. In the Break Series, it was Frando and Forza coming down to the end, both of them substituting for teammates. Frando substituting for Teal, Forza substituting for Commander. Frando ended up besting Forza there in the Break Series, and then the next day, Supreme finished up the STP Dodge Racing Team sweep, winning his second race of the year in the Cup Series. Weekend after that was Watkins Glen. Panda got her third win on the season, and then Forza cleaned up and beat his teammate head-to-head late to win at the Glen. That was his sixth on the year. And then the weekend to close the wild card 8 was North Wilkesboro. The Break Series race was broadcasted, but it was cut short due to lacking attendance. Michigan picked up his first win of the season, so congrats to him and everybody at Drone Strike Racing. And then Drone Strike Racing actually finished out a sweep as well, with Zach getting his second win of the year at North Wilkesboro to close out the Wild Card 8 opening playoff round. And so now here we are in the present, just last night actually. Panda won Nashville to kick off the Competitor 4 round, and a very dominant performance on her part. It was a good race. I don't think Panda really dominated, but it was a good race, good win. And then Flicker, go ahead.
I think Nashville was just a great weekend. I'm not saying that because of a BMS, but I just think it was a good race, honestly. I mean, I think we had a lot of competition in D2, and we had a lot of battles, especially between Zach and Flicker in D1. So, anyway.
I never liked Nashville.
Really? D2?
No.
The Break Series has always performed very well in Nashville. I mean, there's only been like one race I can think of that wasn't that great, and it was just because we had like 5 people. So, and we've even had races of 6 like we did in Cup. We had like 5 by the end of it, and it was a great race. Or decent race, at least.
Oh.
Anyway.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, like you heard, Flicker finished a Bear Motorsports sweep at Nashville, picking up his second victory of the season at Nashville. So that's where we're at right now. Coming to the second race out of 3 in the competitor 4. This one will be at Homestead, Miami. Raced there last season. I don't think it was broadcasted, at least not on the main channel. But what do you guys expect from Homestead next weekend? Second race before the championship finale.
Uh, I don't expect attendance to be that high. People for both races, I'll be honest. But
Really?
yeah, I mean, it happens every playoffs. But it's gonna be. I don't know. I feel like every race is kind of the same. It's gonna be inside line racing. It's just a matter of how much can you get into that corner and whether or not your competitors around you, whether it be on the track or in pit road. D2. Honestly, I probably expect Volvo to take this one, and in D1, also expect Forza to probably clean up from his Nashville mishap and dominate at Homestead, where he's won like I don't think he won last season, but he's won 3 times at Homestead across all 3 divisions. So yeah, in the past at least.
All
So
right, Ford. What about you?
I mean, to me, Homestead, from what I can remember from all of our Homestead races, it's I don't want to say unpredictable track, but I mean, it kind of is, um, in a way, because I feel like every time we race Homestead, every season is different in some way. Like I know we had one season, the last one I remember, like the whole race, it kind of raced like a super speedway. I mean, it raced like Homestead, but we had a bunch of different packs that were doing train racing. Um, I don't know. I agree with Supreme. I think Forza is gonna come back and win. I don't know if he's gonna dominate. But I mean, let's be real here. It's a possibility at every track. So I think Forza is gonna take Homestead for the Cup Series. Now for the NAPRA Break Series or NAPRA Break, whatever. Um, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say Commander's gonna win. Um, at Homestead. I think he can do really good at a track like that, and I think definitely after a weekend he had at Nashville being a intermediate that is a lot different from Miami in many ways. Homestead's a faster track and is a true oval, not a D shape that's lower banked, similar to Kentucky where you gotta slow down a lot. I think Commander's gonna take it honestly. So, and now that I'm thinking about it, Nashville kind of is, at least for our model, is kind of just a glorified Kentucky, just good.
Okay.
I think
But
it's same tier as Kentucky, but
yeah,
uh, but after that little discussion, whatever that is. Uh, yeah, that was a great recap. As we all know, we had eliminations that weekend. Do I remember who won eliminations? Uh, I can't read my own thing. Actually, I do remember. So after the round of 1 for the MBS series, we saw group. I don't freaking remember. Give me a second. Give me a goddamn second. Uh, oh, I have a better idea. Let me just go to the actual channel real quick. Oh, yes, here it is. Okay, so yeah, for the MBS series, we had Radiant, Genetic, Commander Teal, Ruby, and Hellhound eliminated from the wild card 8. And Supreme, Dragon, Friend of 4 Ball, and Robots eliminated from the round of 8 in D1. A lot of heavy hitters, really. First off, for D2, Hellhound, who has the most second place finishes out of everybody in D1 and D2 combined. I think 5, and he was a complete no-show in the first round. Heard that he had some outside issues that hindered him from competing. I felt like he was probably going to be a competitor for. Could have been he could have won a championship. Just maybe even if he didn't. Jesus Christ, dog.
Why is he?
Okay. Um, yeah, and then in D1, it was an interesting fight, particularly between the bottom four drivers of that round of eight. Supreme Dragon, Villain, and Zack, who were all competing for that those final two spots. Villain and Zack, as we all know, got those final two spots ahead of Supreme Dragon. It's a kind of, I guess, interesting that. What is wrong with these people, bro? Oh my god.
nothing. Continue.
I don't know. I just wanted to bring up on the RGTS little newsletter things that is posted every week. I'm gonna read a quote that was put in there. We'll go here. Start here. So, and I quote: "D2 was not surprising in the slightest. The competitor 4 predicted a month ago was in the competitor 4. In D1, though, it is an entirely different story, with Forza and Flicker already locked, but both DRT drivers who were both in some way or form be in the competitor 4 were both eliminated with Villain and Zach taking response. One could point to a flawed point system. Others could believe that Zach and Villain just performed at the right moments. But nevertheless, whether the system stays, both sides have their opinion, and hopefully the competitor 4, you know, lives up to his name, and it's a dogfight to Elwood. I want to ask you two, as you know, the curators of the point system and the curators of, round recess and everything. How do you feel about, competitive drivers being taken out very early in the playoffs, despite them both practically being predicted to go really far? If you have
All
an
right.
answer, we can just move on.
No. Sorry.
I don't really either. I don't really know.
Whitey.
I mean, I'm not really. I'm not gonna say I'm not surprised, but I'm not gonna say I'm surprised. I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, what's our next topic?
Let's go thinking. Silly season.
Silly,
We
yeah,
like
Silly
putting
silly
on
season.
season.
crown caps.
Silly season.
Silly.
Alrighty. So we've had a couple silly season announcements in the past month or so. So I guess we'll start with the most recent one. This one actually came from Supreme. Um, Supreme
What's so funny?
um rumored to be going to Bear Motorsports at the end of this season. And some tandem news with that one. Supreme will be shutting down SDP Dodge Racing Team, his racing team that he owns. That team will shut down at the end of the season, as was announced prior to the season beginning, or maybe halfway through. I don't really remember, but it's official now. They will officially shut down at the close of season 8, and all of the team's assets will go to Drone Strike Racing, owned by Torino. Supreme will still likely race himself, but rumors have speculated that that will be for Bear Motorsports, owned by Ford. So I know you two have a bit of a history. You guys are good friends off the track. Y'all have been friends for a while. So Supreme, can you confirm or deny these rumors, or do you want to say anything?
I mean, I can say something. So, originally, I was going to keep TRT around for another season, but with tryouts, I think kind of when are they? When are tryouts? Like
August 12th,
in
I think.
August, right?
No, not August 12th. It's in August.
August 12th. In August. Well, yeah, it's kind of I don't know. I don't feel like really managing it, also having to do college. So it's not a grand possibility that I even race either. But considering that I like kind of just don't really see the team anymore, I feel like it would just be best to just either drive for one of my closer Discord friends or just join one of the newer teams. probably. I mean, my second choice would be late night racing. Yeah, it's either Bear or Eleanor. Yeah, that's really all it is. I couldn't drive for like any other team because none of the new teams are like that competitive really. And then BTM and DSR, they don't really like me, so it was a no go from the jump. So yeah,
Wow.
All right. Well, Ford, you got anything you want to say about this news? You want to spread some, you know what I mean?
Spread
I'm just,
some.
I'm just trying to instigate. I'm trying to get some juice, you know what I mean? I'm a reporter
I
at the
mean,
center of things.
it's saying trying to get.
I don't got too much.
Sounds like a yes, Supreme will be driving the 18 car next
No
season. All
one
right, you
said
heard
yet. No one said
you
yes.
heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding.
Now that you
That could
said that,
all
I'm going to Eleanor.
that could all fall apart. Supreme could retire, decide not to return. He could go to a different team. Bear could shut down. We'll see. Lots of things can happen during the off season, but
It should shut down.
more
Wow.
silly season. Well, it's a I don't know, whatever. More silly season. We got some more silly season rumors here, including Bear Motorsports. This time it's about driver of the 99, David, in the Cup Series. He's on his contract year, so at the end of this one, he will be a free agent unless Bear decides to re-sign him. But in our most recent news involving him, we've got some rumors about talks between him and Late Night Racing, owned by Russell. Um, there are the 40, 41, and 40. I mean, 40, 41, 42 cars primarily in the league. If you see them on the streams, that's how you identify them. Very bright colors for the logo. But um, yeah, rumors of David going to the other Chevrolet team in the league, or the newer
Honestly,
Chevrolet team in the league. There's Bear, McAuliffe,
this
and Late Night Racing. Late Night Racing
this
is the
might
newest.
be a
What?
a very, very interesting. Honestly, it's kind of disappointing how David turned out this season. Like he could
Yes,
have he could have done something. But
yes.
this might actually be good for David. He gets a fresh new start, no expectation. He might just come out and surprise everybody on a
What
team
we're
that's
talking
trying
about.
to do great. But I think this might be a good decision for Bear and David to part ways so he can have a fresh start. And if Supreme does join BMS, it's championship or lose for Bear. They got two championship competitive cars and bringing a D2 driver who's going to probably be championship competitors as well. I don't know about Ford, but if he taps into that season three tapestry, he might get there. But other than that, he gotta get carried. He gonna get carried. He gonna
Well,
get carried.
while we're on the topic of David, I want to talk about him and his expectations. You mentioned it in there, but I had really high expectations for him when he went to the 99. He got picked up, spun a wheel actually between I believe it was Bear Motorsports and STP DRT. He won a championship in D3, the Truck Series, when we still had it for DRT. But the wheel decided otherwise. He went to Bear, and then he attended the first few races. But after about week 5, I want to say it's been radio silence from the 99 team, and he missed the playoffs, I believe. Um, yeah, just collapsed for the 99, and David, a champion of the league, going to D1, jumping straight to D1 after a D3 championship, and does absolutely nothing with it. Unfortunate for him, shattered my expectations in the wrong way. But yeah, somebody who also disappointed me was Ballin, but we already know how much I've talked about that.
And yeah, you put the whole mortgage on him. I don't know why you did that. Now you're gonna be
Yeah,
homeless.
I put my whole mortgage on Supreme. I mean, not Supreme, on Ballin, and he let me down. He hasn't won. He won the Clash, and that was it. Yeah. So I might be homeless after this season,
You
but
put your mortgage on me. I won races. They made the playoffs.
yeah, I should have put my mortgage on Supreme to win a few. But
Yeah, I mean, we
that
can.
looks
Do we
like
want to stay on? Do we want to stay on topic on expectations, or do we want to keep going? I think that might be.
um, I think we could honestly.
Wait, do what?
Do we want to talk about expectations coming
I
into the
think everyone
season?
kind of
Sure,
just
we
had
can.
like.
All right. Well, y'all got anybody y'all want to talk about off the top of your heads?
Um, Zach.
Honestly, okay, Zach.
Okay.
I mean,
I
you can go.
if it wasn't for the playoff system now or the postseason system for this single season, I would say Zach would definitely be in the championship. Say if it was last year's point system, which was honestly better. Anyway, um, there wasn't so many falls, but I think Zach would definitely be in the championship four.
We had last season's point system.
Yeah. Um. Now I don't know statistically if he would be close by now. I can't quite remember that well, but he has done very good as of late. Um. I know I used to be in line with him a lot. Towards the beginning of the season when he was kind of a mid-pack car, like I remember Saskatchewan. I was closer to him and Dragon. But then he just randomly just started, kind of like a Panda situation. Besides, Panda went from complete dog crap to pretty dang good. And Zach just went from decent to good. So, I think Zach has a big story coming into the final two races in the competitive forward. I expect him to put up a fight as we get close to the championship duel because he's put up some decent battles on. I'd have to look at the points, but
Well, my expectations on Zach were kind of the same as like how his whole career has been going. Very shaky starts to regular seasons, usually
indeed,
all the time.
yeah.
But he would probably pick it up in the playoffs. Now, I am a driver, and I do have ill feelings, particularly with the wild card eight closer. Uh, uh, um, I mean, I was shocked that you would say that Zach would be in championship contention because at least statistically, Zach's kind of been in a really weird funk.
Yeah,
He had the most.
yeah.
He had the most outside top 10 finishes in D1. Uh, he also has the tie for the most DNS in D1, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, it's just been off, but like those wins, they do a lot, and the system also kind of puts. And I will keep saying that until next season. Uh, Other than that, I mean, he was a former driver of mine, so I don't have like that much ill intent for him. Hopefully, he does make the play. Hopefully, he does give Forza a run for his money. But yeah, he should have been eliminated last round. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's just no way. There's just no way. I'm sorry. But other than that, other than that, um, yeah, happy for him to be in the competitor for. Um, there's something going on in the high chat. Uh, sure again. I don't know what to do.
Go ahead, Supreme.
Yeah. More expectations. What do I want to go with next? Because there's a lot of. I mean, actually, we'll go with the off season, not off season, but the tryout drivers that came into in the middle of the season. They kind of disappointed me a little bit. I'll be honest. Specifically below the cut line for both divisions, it was wide open. I mean, like if I can scroll up a little bit, here we go. Specifically, Pango, Milky, they could have definitely made some noise, particularly with David and Villain kind of showing a
I
little
think of
bit of
Lucas.
inactivity.
I think of
Lucas.
Lucas when I think of mid-season drivers. He showed so much speed in tryouts and then never made a start.
Yeah, that's kind of him problem. I'm joking. And then
I know.
T2, we had Waffle almost make the playoffs. Fortunately, he did not make. I don't think did he. I don't think he made the final race, and if he did, I don't think he did anything memorable. But missed it by 66 points. I honestly thought if anyone from the midseason trials were to try mid plus in both divisions, it would have been Waffle. Fortunately, it just didn't pull through, which honestly kind of disappoints me. We kind of needed something to shake up. We needed a shake up, honestly, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Other drivers that had expectations for Hellhound, obviously, but we know how that turned out. Um, is there anyone else in D1? I mean, Ballin, I kind of expected to probably make the playoffs regardless, but he showed speed. Right, as we look at his statistics, he had 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s, had an average finish of 5.66. So he was running around fifth, fourth through sixth all season long. He had that speed that when traditionally he runs like 10th place, but did it come to fruition after the halfway mark and he just didn't make races. Other drivers, I mean, I thought Ford would probably maybe get a win, but that didn't happen. Uh, I thought there'd be a lot more parity in D1 specifically with new cars, almost new everything. I thought there'd be more parity. I thought it wouldn't be like Forza having 6 wins and then the next driver has 3, and then and 3 other. I thought there would be a little more parity. I thought everyone, like a lot of people, have a chance at winning a race, but that just did not happen. But other than that, I feel like everyone else kind of just had same expectations, like Frando, Forza, myself, Flicker. Championship of bus for them four, honestly. Then in D2, nope, wrong one. In D2, I thought Michigan would probably be a really good contender pick. Volvo, and then drivers that maybe missed the mark, but they definitely would have competitive moments like Radiant, Radical, Teal, Panda. And then the MCM, the other 2 MCM drivers, Ruby, Genetic, thought they probably have their moments, but sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't. But yeah, what about you two? Did y'all have any expectations? Some people maybe broke them, shattered them, disappointed you, or maybe they just did what you thought they'd do.
Um,
Um,
not really for me. I really can't think of anything, honestly.
I just want to talk about the cars and schedule, don't y'all?
No, I just
no,
I can't really think of anything on that topic.
um,
Well, it has been a minute since we've done this, I guess.
I'd say Genetic was a little underwhelming this season, in my opinion. I wanted him to be good for McAuliffe when he got picked up during the off season. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Who is spamming yo? Oh my god,
right now.
Ford. It's Ford.
Close sport. All right, I'm not repeating that.
Anyway,
Anyway, for our next topic, we have new cars. Our cars for season 9 of the Cup Series, season 7 of the number. Yeah, season 7 of the Napra
9.
Break Series.
Oh no, break series. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
7
7.
in the Break Series, and then we still have the possibility of a third division. Which not talk about that just yet.
They're gonna be lawnmowers.
So, um, so new cars. So the biggest thing about these new cars versus our current ones is they are actually a decent change. Our cars that we race now are basically just glorified are basically just the glorified second gens we had in 2020. I mean, they're basically
Uh,
the exact same car, just with a
I like
bunch
how
of different
Ford.
scripts.
I like how Ford's talking about this when he's done nothing with the cars for next
Yeah.
season.
Well, crap. Sorry, I got a freaking job at a
Well, I'm
section.
just saying. I thought this was gonna be my
Well,
section.
it is. I'm explaining it. Ah.
Okay.
Anyway.
uh, Jesus,
Anyway. Okay.
Louises.
The new cars handle a lot differently. They're not just a tight loose or a loose tight. They have. Okay. I'll let King explain it. He's got better knowledge on it.
All
Well,
right.
actually, I have a great
So,
synopsis of this.
so we have got brand new cars coming for next season. As Ford said, our cars currently are incredibly outdated compared to the rest of the road racing community. So one of my biggest problems and efforts coming into this season in my position. Full-time development stuff, vice president, trying to catch us up in a way to these newer leads in our cars, in our officiating, in our, all over the board. Anyway, all that to say, we have been gifted SCR chassis by Halt. Sorry, thank you to Halt if he's listening, but he's been a huge help in developing these cars for next season. He's probably not, but he's been a huge help for developing these cars. We've got a lot of new stuff coming from next season. May have heard some of it being mentioned in broadcasts, but I don't have a list, so I'm just going off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, coming new for next season, we have tires, tire wear, and you can change 0, 2, or 4 tires. We have fuel. We've always had tire wear and always had fuel consumption, but now you'll be able to choose between no fuel, half a tank, or full tank. What, you never resumed it, did you?
No, I did. It's
okay,
what I just saw.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Who cares? I'm looking in studio right now.
Yeah, don't look.
Anyway, we got a whole bunch of new stuff pitting wise. We're gonna have completely different driving cars. Going to be a big change for the driver. It should be fun to watch. We got slow acceleration, or I guess realistic acceleration, and then we have different handling system, I guess you could say. Gonna have a different weekend schedule. Hopefully gonna have even more stuff on the broadcast, even more in-depth broadcast, get to know the drivers a little bit more through the streams every weekend. And I believe that's the gist of everything new we have.
Guys got questions like, hey, I'm joking, that's not easy 13.
But yeah, should be fun. Oh, wait. No. Cars are gonna have more horsepower next year. Cars are going to be, I forgot what we said the actual horsepower reading was for, but
900.
Cars definitely.
Back to what it used to be.
Okay, so Cup Series cars are going to have 900 horsepower, going to be screaming around 1.5 super speedway short tracks, just like they used to be. And then the Brake Series has, I believe, 850. Whatever the Cup Series has this season, the Brake Series has that now. So should be fun to watch. Should be fun for the drivers, hopefully. And hopefully you'll stick around and tune in next season when all that stuff is on showcase, starting with the Clash, which I guess
could segment it's 800, not 900. Sorry, I got mixed up.
800 for next season.
Because it's 685 right now.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that'll start with the Clash, which I guess could segment us right into talking about our schedules for next season, which were released a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. What? Okay. Schedule. So we're gonna start with the NAPRA season 7 schedule. So for preseason, I know you guys can't see, but August 12th we have our preseason Thunder at the Kentucky Speedway for the NAPRA Brake Series. And then regular season we kick off like usual. Ohio is in 350 Daytona August 23rd. And then instead of the usual Maryland as the second race, we were switching to Las Vegas and then Phoenix for the third. And
also, I want to say before you get really started,
I assume you're gonna say what I was gonna anyway.
These seasons are much longer than the season was this year. All right, go ahead.
Besides that, we're having a different playoff system this season, a 3-race round of champions, where we have Charlotte, Maryland, and Homestead, and that'll be in the spring of 2026 when that ends. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. So, like King said, the seasons are longer.
I think that idea is too good.
The seasons are longer. A big change is we actually have bidding for race names. So, like, for example, the Perez Motorsports 275. We have a lot of races that are to be determined at this moment. We have the Red Dragon Classic 300. Yeah, we got a bunch of races like that. What else was I gonna say? I've completely just lost. It was like a big Cup. Well, all divisions are actually not racing at the same track every weekend. Some weekends they are, most weekends they are not. So
Most
like,
weekends they are.
is it most weekends they are?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said otherwise. I didn't. Whoops.
No.
So for the October 11th and 12th weekend, for example, Cup Series is at Atlanta, while the Napa Break Series is at Ohio.
No.
Yes. No.
The
I
October
read that
11th
wrong.
weekend.
Jeez. I can't pay attention.
The
Anyway,
October
forget that.
the weekend of October and 18th is the first differing
Portland.
weekend for the divisions.
Yeah.
The break series will be at Portland, while the Cup series will be at Michigan.
Yeah. Anyway, so our off week is usual in the middle of the season for midseason tryouts starting November. And we'll be back November 8th at Nashville for the Nap Brick Series for the UCs. So the seasons start in August and end in March. I believe these are longest seasons in NAPRA. I think it was 29 before. It's longer than 29.
Pretty sure the season's 27.
Yeah, you're right. 20. Well, I think 27. Okay.
Cup is 27. Breaks is 26.
Yeah. So for Cup, obviously, not much difference. Just the first one, Michigan on the 19th, and NBS the day before at Portland. Through here again. So like, let's look at our playoff rounds. So our playoff rounds before always had the same tracks basically for a while. The NBS, instead of Talladega being the cutoff for the playoffs, we are going back to the Scorcher Arena for the Dry Desert 400 and the Napa Auto Parts Cup Series and the Red Dragon Classic 300 Break Series. So the round of 10, we have Darlington, Talladega, and Richmond. Round of 6, Watkins Glen, Dover, and then an off week for D2. 6, meaning they only get 2 races in the round of 6.
Because it's Valentine's Day.
Yes. And round of champions is the same for the Break Series. Now the playoff for the Cup Series. The first round is the same. The round of 6 is different for the Cup Series. We have New Hampshire, Watkins Glen, and then Dover. And then, like I said, round of champions is the same, which is the last race at Homestead, sponsored by Craven and our official engine supplier for the.
That's good. No,
There's no other schedule at this. So, well, I will say this. So if we do have a division,
it's gonna be ARCA.
it will be a every other week series. So it'll be an off week every other week, similar to trucks in real life, where they have a crap ton of off weeks for like 3 weeks at a time. Well, not like that, but you get what I'm saying. And their schedule will be more similar to the classic style NAPRA schedules, as in like probably Maryland. Anyway, King, do we have any input you'd like to add on skate or cars for D3 or whatever? If we have,
I believe the Carlisle division cars are going to be whatever horsepower Break Series has this season.
And see, King just revealed the name for you guys. If you
sorry,
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, NAPRA Carlisle series, Carlisle parts, which are owned by Napa Auto Parts, which actually they're still a part of Napa, I'm pretty sure, but they actually changed. They used to be like the typical like Napa batteries and look like Napa, but now they're actually a green color. Odd. Green and black. So very interesting.
I'm gonna say batteries might be.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, if D3 happens, it is the NCLS, the Napa Carlisle series or Napa Carlisle series, whatever you guys want to We say both. Logos say NAPRA instead of NAPA just because it already has the NAPA logo, so why would we say yeah?
No how.
NAPA know how. So yeah, the NCLS, if it happens, will have a more traditional. We'll say that a more traditional schedule, one that we've been used to for the last 5 years now. Which, speaking of, this is the 5-year anniversary of NAPRA.
Oh.
So, well, not today, but the July 4th, 2020 was NAPRA was founded.
Who cares what's 4th of July?
Anyway, this may be the first cooldown lap that is under 1 hour, unless we got any other topics. Unless we want to talk about Nashville, since that just happened. Well, we already did talk about Nashville.
Let's
see what else can we talk about?
Did we talk about Nashville in the re-recording, in the new recording? I think we did.
Yes.
We like briefly.
Well, we don't. It's not any special. It's not a crown jewel. It's turning into one slowly, but it's not.
No.
It's a matter of fact, it shouldn't be one.
Same for now. Anyway, I know for the 5 people that are probably going to be watching this, if they even get to this point, we have a public Daytona game that is updated and actually fully functional, unlike the last one. Well, it's the same game, just actually updated after 2 years. We are getting very close to our full release. We just gotta add. We're gonna be adding scheme IDs and possibly gonna be adding the schemes for our drivers, meaning you want to race as Supreme, or maybe a legacy scheme pack. Maybe you want to race an old King car or old Adam car from BMS.
Who? Sorry.
Anyway,
he's probably gonna cuss me out if he sees that.
Don't put King in the legacy pack. He's not a legacy driver.
Yes, I am.
So you're not.
Yes, I am. I had a better career than you, and I've had a better career than you, and yours isn't even done.
When I say legacy driver, I mean retired drivers, basically.
That's debatable.
Yeah, see, I'm a legacy driver. How is it debatable? Neither of us won a championship. I got more wins all time than you in a shorter amount of time. There's no debate.
In worst competition, yes.
We were racing against each other.
Anyway. So make sure to check out our group, our public data. Let me update log. Hey, some members actually joined. Surprising. So our public Daytona.
Then we're over 500.
Yeah, I know. Hit the 500 member mark. We have version 0.8, which is still the last update before our full size update, which we still want to. Again, we want to add the schemes. We want to add the possibility of. Oh crap! What was it? I literally just forgot what it was. Anyway.
Legacy packs.
Yeah, legacy packs. There's the possibility, depending, if the game takes off, say Jackal, which I don't.
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it, and I don't want it to take off that much because then we're gonna have a freaking 800 members.
We're gonna have to keep up with it.
Yeah. Well, it's not even so much that. There's not much to keep up with unless stuff breaks, but.
That's my issue.
Yeah. So if Daytona were to take off, or we get some people that actually race it every once in a while, we will come out with possibly a intermediate public game, but I doubt that at this moment. So actually, if you guys want to check out that public Daytona, you guys can be among the first to drive the Season 9 vehicles, as basically no other full-time driver in the Cup Series right now has actually drove our Season 9 Super Speedway package, which is what is being used in the public Daytona.
They have.
Have they? Well, not all of them. I know
Yeah,
there's tests. I know there's tests, but not all of them. That's why I said among the first.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can drive our cars for next season before they're even released in our public game. We've updated spawning, updated graphics. We have new GUIs. The game is slightly better optimized. Um, we had actually added a decor toggle for lower end devices if you want to get rid of the stands and the lights attached to the grandstands on the front straightaway to help with
Or you could just like,
lag. So,
you know,
um,
get money, buy better PCs,
well,
type beat.
Roblox has crappy optimization. 90% of the time, it's not even someone's PC. It's just the connection that Roblox has.
You should all burn Roblox to the ground, type beat.
So, and the last announcement, the last thing I want to speak about, as of today, July 7th of 2025, we got on the rowracing.com, which if you guys don't know, rowracing.com is a kind of website where all row racing communities, well, most row racing communities, can connect. You can get free assets, scripts, tracks. Basically, you can get free anything you want for your league to help you get a kickstart. Chassis, like I said, scripts, blah blah blah, timing systems. You can also buy merchandise, like you can buy helmets, Hans devices for your avatar. And you can also check out a good amount of leagues with Discord links and information on them on their leagues page, which includes multiple categories such as multi-class, NASCAR, touring, rally, open wheel. We have a lot of categories for that, so they have a lot of categories for that. So make sure to check them out if you want a little kickstart on maybe making a league or want to look at some leagues if you can't find any. So, and you can see the NAPRA on there as well. So, that's the last thing I got. Anything from?
No, I think I'm good. We got an exciting lineup of tracks to finish out the season. Three more to go. Homestead, Elmwood, and Charlotte to close us out.
Great.
Hopefully, we can end off season 8 on a high note. Crown us a new champion, maybe a second crowning or third or fourth for some people.
Maybe we can get a flicker, or maybe we can get a back-to-back flicker, a Forza comeback, maybe a upset and have Zach come in and win a cup championship. Panda's the favorite team right now.
Wait. No. Wait. Bear and DSR are the only teams that could realistically sweep the championship. Just saying.
Man, don't nobody give a damn.
I'm just saying.
Anyway.
I gotta push the narratives, dude. I'm a reporter.
So, we got our fading crown jewel being Elwood, which is
What do you mean fading?
Elwood King.
Yeah.
Where is my
What are we doing?
precious?
He took it off the schedule for the day.
What are you talking about? Oh. I thought you noticed.
Nope. Anyway, let's end this recording right here.
I'm gonna get beat off camera.
I put hours try to make it race better, and it's been here since 2020.
I tried to get Torino to make it better, and he couldn't.
Wait, there's nothing else to do to it.
I wanted him to add in smoother banking, and he couldn't because of the way it was built.
There is a not Aska, but it is a Aska-ish Elwood out there. I gotta figure out how to get the model. It was a custom model. I've actually tried getting. I tried getting it in like 2023. It's basically
an Aska-ish Elwood.
Yes. It's
a real track.
No. It's not. It's a fictional track. And I
thought so.
Indiana. I think it's Indiana. Yeah, it's a fictional track. But there's a model out there that either a league made or someone made that has smooth transitions, and it's not the kind of like old row racing Atlanta style where it's got the 3 aggressively banked lanes. Which I honestly think the new cars would race perfectly fine at.
I just don't like that track.
I don't care what you like, Mr. Vice President. I do care what you like.
That was very
but not when it's my precious Elwood. And why does
also love
the
About the Way podcast?
We can do it for a meme race in the off season.
That doesn't even count.
End the video.
Okay.
End the video.
Alrighty, everybody. This was your fourth installment, third. Supposed to be fourth. So this is your next installment of the NAPRA cooldown lap, with one more left after the championship duel for the Napa Break Series.
Oh my god!
NAPRA Cup Series, Auto Parts Cup Series. So we will see you guys in the next one.